What you got? Where's your stick? Where's your stick? Hello, beautiful. Oh. Hello, beautiful girl. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well and happy Book Week Scotland. So yeah, I was going to say a book full, a week full of celebrations all about Scottish literature, promoting Scottish literacy, and I have a very special event to take you to tonight. So I have already been, I should say, to BookBug in the library, as you can see with my slightly brighter than I'm accustomed to t-shirt. And yeah, after singing along and story time with 30 toddlers, I am a teensy bit dishevelled, but I'll sort myself out before tonight because I am going to Glasgow Women's Library and their Bold Types competition. Now they do every year. I think actually if anyone has been on the poetry side of my website, which of course I highly encourage you to do, you'll be able to see that some of my poems in the past have been fortunate enough to win the Bold Types competition before. This is an annual contest and it's kind of timed to coincide with Book Week Scotland. So the library will invite 4 or 5 poets, 4 or 5 short story writers to perform their work in front of an audience, and then they choose an overall winner. Now I have been really lucky and actually won the prize twice before. I've been shortlisted 3 times, so it's certainly not a done deal. In fact, it was the first prize that I ever got shortlisted for, got any recognition for my work back. This was a short story called Two Readers. Oh my gosh, I feel so young to think back to then. It was only, what was it, 2013? Goodness me. Oh, I'm such an old writer. And that was a lovely kind of vote of confidence in my work, and I've subsequently won the prize with 2 of my poems. So the first was The Clyde, which was for the Mixing the Colours anthology, all about sectarianism in Scotland and how it affects women in particular. That was actually a really interesting one because when I saw the theme, I've been fortunate to have, you know, relatively speaking, a very privileged background, very privileged upbringing. I haven't been exposed to some of the things that some people have experienced, some people have had to go through. And I thought, what is my take on sectarianism? Do I have the right to have a perspective? And yet, of course, everybody does. And I thought, how really does this impact my life? And it's not active, it's passive. It means that I don't go to certain places, that I've been told not to go to certain places, that I'm advised to stay in at dangerous times. It's a lack, it's a passivity. And actually that has great relevance, I think, for feminism too. So many women experience life like that. And that was the angle that The Clyde took. You should be able to see a little image of the poem here. It means a lot to me as one of the first again that got proper recognition. And yeah, that was a really wonderful piece to have included in the Mixing the Colours anthology. The second poem that was at Glasgow Women's Library was Knowledge. Now this is right up there with one of my favourite pieces. This has got to be one of my personal favourites of my own personal poems, if that doesn't sound a bit daft. This was inspired by Eve and the Garden of Eden, and very much again in keeping with a feminist theme. So that is, yeah, I've so appreciated the acknowledgement that they gave me there. And you can see here, that prize was not to be sniffed at. Look at that pile of books. I was totally overwhelmed. So the prize is for a short story writer and a poetry writer, you get this massive haul of books and a mentor session. And that was just wonderful. And you know, the funny thing is, I find sometimes books that have an impact in your life, they come in funny ways. I can't quite explain it, but just if you find one unexpectedly, somebody gives you it, sometimes the message in them or the content in them is far more resonant than you would ever thought possible. In this bundle, Olive Kittredge was right there, for instance. I had never heard of Elizabeth Strout, and now she is one of my all-time favourite authors. I've read all her work, and she very much influences Eleanor Arbour. Yay for Eleanor Arbour! Still, I'll keep you posted, any change. So yeah, while I'm in the Eleanor Arbour publishing process, it's nice to have a vote of confidence in my poetry. So tonight, my poem is called Library. Now the theme of Book Week Scotland this year is blether. if anyone's watching not from Scotland, blether is a word for, you might have heard natter. It's kind of like a casual conversation, you know, like have a blether, like a blether and a catch up, like you would blether over a cup of tea or blether at a bus stop. So it's kind of, it's harking back to, it's a lovely Scottish word. A lot of Scots words are actually really onomatopoeic. You kind of find that they mimic, you know, like when it's raining, for instance, dreich, it's dreich. Yeah, when it's wet and horrible. Sounds kind of like the squelchy horde weather itself. So the theme is blether and my poem is library. So I will be performing that tonight in front of an audience. I have practiced because, you know, you can never be too practiced with stuff like this, because even I really like, my poems are quite short and I really like to have them off by heart, but sometimes you will just, you see everyone and you just freeze. So I do have little notes, but I'm hoping not to use them. I have practiced enough, I hope. And yes, whatever happens, I'm not too bothered about. I'm really delighted to be shortlisted. Whatever happens now, good luck to the winner, whoever they are. And yeah, it's hopefully going to be a lovely evening to celebrate Scottish literature. And you're coming along. Yay! Hi everyone, I'm back. So, oh, what a great evening. The work was incredible and everyone was so supportive. So my poem didn't win the overall category, but I got some lovely feedback. I even got these flowers. Look, that's why I'm down with my yellow painting. How's that for commitment to colour coordination? Yeah, they were so supportive and really understood what the piece was all about. Particularly, Wendy is the lovely librarian at GWL. She has been supportive of my work for years and she's even going to look out to see if she can find somewhere to submit Ellen and Arbor. So they're such a lovely team. Wendy, Donna, everyone there. And thank you to my mum as well for coming along for moral support. I'm going to put these in water now and thaw out. To be honest, the one flaw in the evening was that the heating was broken. So there were lots of blankets, lots of hot water bottles floating around, but I definitely need to warm up now. So thank you so much for watching. I will pop the full poem on my website. So please do have a look and see what you think of Library. Other than that, I'll see you soon.